everybody, welcome to Big E's Auto. I'm Big E. So we're doing something completely different today. We got some. I'm gonna tilt. You got some gasoline here. We got some water with food coloring in it. So you're gonna ask about what we're gonna do. Basically, we're gonna do an experiment here. Let me set the camera up here, guys. An experiment of removing the ethanol from your pump gas. We all know ethanol doesn't do very nice things to internal combustion engines. It's just really not good stuff. Corrosion, other stuff like that happens because of it. So, to get a more, dare I say, pure gas, we're going to remove the ethanol. And the way we're going to do that is, I'm going to drop the camera down here, and we have a gallon gas here, pump gas, okay, and then we also have our water. Now I put food coloring in here, so that way it's more, you can see the difference. I mean, you can see it if I just put water in, but it's more visual if the food coloring's in there. So what we're going to do is, at this point, we're going to take the water, we're going to dump it in.
That looks cool.
Levi's here helping me. Alright, so maybe that's a little much, but that's okay. We want to make sure we get it all absorbed. So you can see it kind of turned it a blue tinge. Okay. So, next thing we want to do is kind of like, we want to swirl it around a little bit, mix it up really good.
Or shake it.
You could shake it, but we don't have a lid for this.
Yeah.
So
only shake something that has a lid.
Right. So we're gonna just mix this up really good.
That literally looks like the ocean.
Okay, yeah.
Like
it does.
salty water.
Well, because of the blue food coloring, yes. So now that's all mixed up. So what we're gonna do is cap that and let it sit overnight, okay? And then in the morning we're gonna see what it looks like. What we should see is, at the bottom we should see a dark concentration of blue, and at the top we should see like a clear, possibly yellowish liquid at top, but you will see a definite separation line between the two. And we'll see how that is, and at that point you would take a siphon pump, you would stick your hose all the way to the bottom and siphon from the bottom until all that junk that's on the bottom gets sucked out, and all you have is the fluid that was on top, which is your pure gasoline. Now, I was told that when you do this, it does lower the octane rating. Well, that's okay, because you can buy octane booster, at an auto parts store, Wally World, wherever you shop. They usually have octane booster. What I would do is, after you do this, when you're ready to use the pure gas, I would put octane booster in at that point, and to bring your octane level back up. The reason why I looked into this was because the last video I did on rebuilding the carburetor, or I should say with the changing the secondary vacuum secondary spring, I took the bottom apart and I took this gasket out of the carburetor. Now you don't see it now, but when I first took the carburetor apart, it had fuel on it, but you saw these like bubbles, if for lack of a better term, and they were water bubbles. And the reason why it bubbles up, because water and oil don't mix, they just don't. So you create this bubble of water, which metal parts and things like that, water, metal, you get rust. So that's what makes ethanol not that good and not a great thing. So that's why we're going to do this here, kind of little experiment thing, and we're going to see if what we come up with, and just try it out and see how it works. But it's just a little something you can do. Take your fuel. This is a gallon jug I have here, and put water in there. mix it up, let it set overnight, distill if you will, and then we'll see about that and just suck out the ethanol, put a can of octane booster in with the fuel you have left, and you can run that in your car or whatever. So for now, we're going to let this sit overnight. All right, guys, so here we are. It's the next day. I actually saw this after only like maybe 45 minutes to an hour, but it was already late in the day, so I let it sit overnight. But I'm going to show you here. You can see all the ethanol and water here, and this is up here is your pure gasoline. And so now what we're going to do, let me situate my camera here for you. So my next thing is going to be, we're going to siphon the blue out of there. So we have nothing but the yellowish liquid. In fact, it'd probably be better if you're, let me put you down here so you can see more what's going on. Okay, so basically the line is right about here where my finger is. So what we want to do is suck that all out so we only have this left. So I'm going to take my hand pump again and put that, make sure it's at the bottom. Okay, so I'll hold that in place. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just keep pumping that out. I do have it in a separate container. There's a little bit left yet. And there you have it. So now what we have left is pure gasoline now. So the ethanol is taken out. And we're left here gasoline without the ethanol or moisture or other stuff in it. So that was all basically sucked out of there. So now what I can do, I can take that, put that in a separate container, and go ahead and start the process over. So just a little quick overview of, yes, you know, a lot of people saying about the ethanol not being good, which it isn't, because it's basically moisture, like I said when I took the carburetor apart. What I would do now with this gasoline here that's in the container, I would add an octane booster just to make sure that it has enough of an octane that you don't have pinging and you don't have to hurt performance because of that. So that being said, try it out at home and see how it works for you. I'm actually going to probably siphon some fuel out of one of my vehicles and just go ahead and try and remove all the ethanol from it because it's just better for the engine. So anyway, I hope you learned something, if not at least entertaining. So yeah, try it at home, you know, with just regular pump gas and water. Now you don't have to use the food coloring. I just did it because it's easier to see, but you just need regular water and just put it in the gasoline, shake it up, let it sit. Like I said, within an hour, I even saw that line appearing of where it was separating the ethanol from the gas. So, but yeah, try it out. Anyway, like and subscribe, leave a comment, watch out for each other, take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's Auto. Bye for now.